is the Conrad Alert. Civil defense information will be broadcast at 6:40.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Y2K, how can we prepare?
Stop a few of their machines and radios. Throw them into darkness for a few hours.
We are fighting for our lives. My family must survive.
For 5 years, 1,000 gallons of gas, air filtration, water filtration.
Coming at you from the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Telegram, Rumble, and Odyssey. Welcome back to the workshop where we create community, find freedom, promote preparedness, and share success. I am Toolman Tim. Today is February the 8th, 2023, and this is episode 250 of the Workshop Podcast. Great to have everyone. I see Pippin over in chat. I see Byron in chat. Let's get a couple of things out of the way real quick. This is going to be an exciting one. I've been looking forward to this. It's going to be a much more laid back episode. And you can't say I don't like to try new things because we are going to, well, I'm going to attempt to channel my inner Art Bell. And I'm going to go to the phone lines, as they used to like to say back in the 90s. And we're going to open up the wild card line. And I'm going to let whomever would like to come on the show to discuss. I'm going to try to limit it to 10 minutes per guest. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, what questions are. Doesn't matter. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to post this link in the comments here. I do have one gentleman waiting in the wings, so we'll get him on in a minute. So if you'd like to join, at any point, you may end up in the quote-unquote green room or waiting on hold for a little while. I'm going to get one at a time, but we'll work our way through. I got a bunch of stuff I want to get out of the way, but since we have our first caller, let's go to the phone lines and bring it on here. Hang on. So, East of the Rockies, you're live. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jeremy. Who I thought was one step closer. I mean, it all started when I traveled back in time, and met Sasquatch.
Oh, what about the Chupacabra? You ever seen him?
No, he mows my lawn,
Oh, well, as long as his rates are good here. I look like the Chupacabra with my shirt off if I'm mowing the lawn, so.
No, I tried to do that and the HOA fined me.
Fair enough, fair enough. So where are you calling from, Jeremy?
North Texas, just east of Dallas, northeast of Dallas.
Very good. So what brings you on the show this evening, my friend?
Well, first of all, I want to say, congratulations on a fantastic program of 250 episodes. I know we'll see many more from you.
Thank you, sir.
And also congratulations on your new endeavor in the land of Tennessee.
Oh, we're excited. I plan every single day on. There's not a day goes by that I'm not thinking, okay, how many days can I afford to be down there? Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. We're going to put a work day or 3 together. And I'm excited. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, fantastic. I guess my big question today is, like I said, I've got, we're looking, I said myself, doing a 2-year plan to get on a homestead ourselves. Well, I have some nice corded tools kind of here and there. I'm thinking about starting to put together a good, cordless set. I'm wondering, I know you're a big DeWalt guy. But I was wondering if you've had a chance to look at any of the new brushless Hercules line coming out from Harbor Freight, I think just released, or anything else you'd recommend as possible options for a cordless line for someone kind of building and working or renovating a homestead?
Yeah. So Chris Dixon says we got a little blurry video on the go here. So we'll see if it could be. I'm trying this new camera. And no worries. Hey, speaking of the Chupacabra, we have him live. So, okay. I obviously being a Canuck and spending time, it's all right, man. Don't worry. Being, up in Canada, I don't have full access to Harbor Freight like I'd like. So I only get to pick up the stuff when I come from, the U.S. and back up. So the ones I did bring back, I've really enjoyed so far, but I haven't touched on the Hercules. But Impact Nation Tools on Instagram had an awesome video the other day of the new Hercules impact driver. And he did a side-by-side comparison of the Hercules with the top-of-the-line Milwaukee. And, I want to say the Hercules was around $100. So it was not expensive. And the damn thing was every bit as fast as Milwaukee, but it had faster trigger control. So when you pull trigger response, so when you pull the trigger, it come down, boom, just like that. So
No spin up, no slow spin up, just bam, instant torque.
Just bam, it was there. That's what I liked about it. And there are a bunch of those kind of middle of the road cordless tools that I'm kind of growing fond of. And obviously I don't spend all my money on tools. I probably would if I could, but
know the feeling.
Yeah, there's a few, but yeah, Hercules has been appears to be really good. One that I'd really like to toy with, and I've only got a couple accessories from them, is Ryobi. They are from, I want to say it might be Letty Lou in the comment or in the community, but there's a bunch of different people who've been using Ryobi. They've got really good battery technology. They spend quite a bit of money on research and development, and they have one of the widest, what's the word for it? Like the biggest breadth of selection with their tools. They go into the home and garden and tools, and the price is really, really cheap. And then there's another one, and my brain is not working right at the moment. Do you know the one that Walmart stocks?
The Heartline?
Yeah. So what I like about them, if you're early on, I was going to reminisce a little bit. When I first started with my live streams, there's a fellow YouTuber, Tools with Souls, SOALZ. Sorry, there goes my Canadian. It came out for a minute. And so he's gone and done some kind of comparisons on the Hart tools, and they look really good. Like I've picked them up. I've kind of played with them in the store a few times. And what I like about their stuff is, from what I understand, the guy who designed it, I was reading about it, the CEO, whatever you want to call it, they poached him from another big tool company. And he came in with the understanding that he was going to make a really good tool line for less expensive, for people to get introduced to. But one more thing I really like, and in their, I don't want to say mission statement, but in their kind of reason to exist, they want to bring battery power to the whole home. So their idea is eventually to have things like battery powered blenders and battery powered vacuums and, all of the small. So I don't know.
Maybe a coffee maker?
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me started on Makita's coffee maker. And I seen the other day Makita come out with a job site microwave that's battery powered. So yeah. So
no more warming up the lunch on the hot engine block then, huh?
Yeah, well, you could still do it if you really felt like you needed to, but I would say, and these are, of course, these aren't based on my personal use, but from watching other guys that I respect their opinion of, but Hart, Ryobi, and those are the two that I've had my eye on. Oh, and the Flex line from Lowe's. Now they're a little more money, but my God, they're good stuff. I'd love to get my hands on some of they got a backpack blower that I've looked at that's battery powered. Because of course, I was out this morning blowing snow, and they're noisy and they stink. So, because they use mixed gas, right? So if they could come up with a cordless battery powered backpack blower that had good runtime of at least an hour runtime with batteries and could handle our beautiful -40 temperatures in Canada, I'd be all about it. But yeah. And the Hercules line, as far as cordless, looks really good. So that's a roundabout way to come back and say, I love DeWalt, but I don't think DeWalt's the answer for everybody. Go ahead.
No, as I said, DeWalt looks like a really good line. I'm just trying to think, it's hard to tell since they have like the three lines, it's like which DeWalt would you go into? I understand it's an investment, because the idea is you buy the good tool, you don't have to buy it again in 2 years. Kind of like Jack says, always frugal, never cheap.
Yes.
But then again, you always think about, I'm not really going to put it in, say, a pace like, say, but I'm not going to build a house with it, right? I'm going to do renos and other structures here and there, like, projects like, say, beds or tea brewers or stuff like that. So I was always trying to figure out, it's kind of hard to figure out where that exact, price quality point is,
And I would say, I get it. I know, like, you get your DeWalt fangirls like me and the Milwaukee fangirls, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but so everybody has their favorite. But honestly, what I've come down to is at this point, especially with the adapters that are out there, you're more investing in a battery platform than you are in a tool platform, because you're buying those batteries, but you can always adapt them to other things. I'm running, like the other day, I took my Harbor Freight cordless vacuum cleaner over to the daycare to clean up some of my construction debris. And instead of grabbing one of my Harbor Freight batteries, I just slapped on the DeWalt battery with, so I put one of the big, was it the 6 amp hour flex volt? I think it was, or maybe it was a 10. Anyway, it didn't matter, but it had way more runtime than the little 3 amp hour Harbor Freight battery I bought. So that's a way to, I extended into some of the cheaper tools. I picked up, an orbital sander, a jigsaw, and that shop vac, all from Harbor Freight. But I power them with my DeWalt batteries, because the batteries where you're going to spend your money.
Yeah, that seems to be the correct. Like you said, they kind of lock you in there. But now you said you had adapter there, so you got a little more freedom then, huh?
Yeah. I think it was, I want to say $20 on Amazon, and they're built like a brick shit house. But the only thing I find is once they snap into place, you've really got to come on to them to get them off. But that's better than them falling off every time you go to use them,
Yeah, it makes sense. You don't want to be losing those things.
Yeah. Oh, and another line I forgot to mention, Amazon carries the DCK line, which I just reviewed the drill today, and it was $99 for a real heavy-duty, all-metal, half-inch keyless chuck drill. And it was really good. I was surprised. It was sent to me for free, so just so you know, all honesty, I really enjoyed it. But the thing I liked about that DCK line is they're starting to expand into some other tools. But if you look them up, if you go on like Amazon UK, you're going to find they have a full line of tools. And reading between the lines, it sounds like they're a design company for some of the middle of the road tools as well. So you might be able to get, number 2 quality, but pay number 3 price, if that makes sense.
That sounds good. Yeah, trying to get the right spot on that value curve. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like, I know that's because I think Ryobi is the same company that makes Milwaukee, right? I know they make rigid, and I want to say Milwaukee too.
I'm not 100% sure. I did a little pie chart, and I did a video on all the DeWalt companies a while back, but I can never remember. I think you might be right, but I can't remember for sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because his another urge is how far in the line do I really need to go? So, and this past Christmas was hard because everyone was throwing combo deals. Like, want to pull the trigger on 8 tools, but I don't need them yet. So,
and that's the thing. And I love it gets asked on Reddit all the time. Is this combo pack good or that combo pack good? You know what? Look for the best value in the tools you're going to use, because a lot of times they'll throw in like a shitty little vacuum or some little 20-watt flashlight that's no good for nothing. So if you're going to spend on a combo kit, try to buy the ones that's going to have the tools you're going to use for sure.
Makes sense. And you said you've been loving the multi-tool. That's one I still haven't used yet. Everyone says I need one because, it's like a Swiss Army knife.
Well, if you see, my brother-in-law Barrett comes into the chat sometimes. And so I got him for the, Secret Santa this year. And I bought him a DeWalt multi-tool, the cordless oscillating tool. Mm-hmm. And he grabbed me at the daycare the other day, and he said, "Tim, I've used that so many times and I never thought I would. It's the tool you don't think you need until you buy it. And then you're like, how the hell did I ever live without one?"
Yeah, it reminds, because I was replacing a toilet in my aunt's house about a month ago, and I wish I had something like that. I did rusted balls, chipping tile. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do it with a hand tool. So you took made a 1-hour job, a 6-hour job kind of thing. And I was like, dang it, I should have had that tool that Tim was talking about.
It's an easy way to drill a square hole too. That's what I like. There's just a lot of things it can do that you don't think about, and then once you pick it up, you're like, shit, yeah, this is the answer, man.
Yeah, where's it been all my life, right? Kind of thing.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for dropping in. I'm going to we went a little, no big deal, but I'm going to open up the lines to the next person. I got a little bit of info I'm going to cover, and man, we'll do this again, I promise.
Sounds great.
Take care, bud.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there was our first call in. So if you'd like to get on the air with the Workshop Podcast, feel free to grab this link. I have shared it all across social media. Anybody else who'd like to pop in, go right ahead. We will have the special wild card line, the East of the Rockies line, and the West of the Rockies line, and it's all 100% free. You can call in. You can do audio only, or you can do audio video. So I wanted to, we got a few announcements and different things I wanted to deal with. I got some kind of really cool things coming up, but I wanted to look back over the time, whatever. It's been 3 years, right? So there's been some milestones in the workshop. I've been excited about it. I looked back the other day because I couldn't even remember what the date was, but it was January 24th, 2020 was my first appearance. Was really when I launched this whole content creation journey. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time so far. So that was when I appeared on the LFTN podcast. So for those who don't know, Living Free in Tennessee, Nicole asked me to come on and talk about building a handyman business. I enjoyed it. It was something, of course, that we built our life around at that point, but I was scared shitless. I had no idea what I was going to do. While we're doing this, I'm going to share some stuff with you guys as we go along. Let's just go entire screen. And there we go. Okay. So we'll bring that up in a minute. Just hide that. There. All right. So we've got, January 24th, 2020 was when I first launched the 10-part series that was developing your own handyman business. And that's what this started as. And then it's turned into a passion for a whole hell of a lot of things, including content creation, including prepping, including pop culture, all of that. So I wanted to take you guys back, way back. This will be a fun one. I'll bet a lot of you have never even seen this video. So give me a second here. We're going to bring it up. I hope you guys can hear it on the audio as well. But here, give me a sec. Bring this up, share screen. All right. So this is the very first video I ever did. That was my old intro, the All Seasons Maintenance logo. And thanks, Haas, for congrats. If you can't hear that, guys, on the audio or the video, that's good, because neither can I. I'm not sure what the hell I was doing with my audio. I'm not even sure if I was actually talking, but whoever that terrorist-looking dude is leaning over in the corner talking to his iPhone with a beard halfway down his lap, I had to. I thought you guys would enjoy that quick little trip down memory lane. So anybody on audio only, one step can't hear it. I kind of figured you might not be able to. It's really that beard is epic, Dixon. Absolutely. So let's go back up to there. Give me a second. I might have messed up sharing the audio, but I just wanted to show you that video anyway. Somebody just said, is that Osama bin Laden? Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. And paint the picture for you. I was in exactly where I am today. If you want to see it, I haven't even gotten around to painting the office yet. It's still green. I've just upped the production value that was that originally started out as the All Seasons Maintenance YouTube channel, which was kind of fun. I even did a few how-to videos, how to replace glass in windows, how to clean windows and make money. But the way we come, the way we go. I was talking to Nicole earlier today, Nicole Sauce from LFTN, and she said, it's funny how wherever you start, you never you don't end up where you think you're going to. Chris Dixon said the real green room. Absolutely. Haas said, did you play Santa back then? No, but I get asked to play more now. So I don't know. And then let me see if we can. I'm going to try to stop screen. I'll see if I can get the audio to come up. We're going to go share screen and we will go into here. I wanted you guys to see this. This was, so back, I think it was August of the first year, August 2020 was when I did, when we had our 100 subscriber special here on the YouTube channel. And it is got to be one of the funniest things you will ever see. So you might be able to hear the audio in this one. Let's see. I don't know. Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you very much. We decided to have a 100 subscriber special. We have reached the very first milestone. We now have a special URL, youtube.com/c/all.
You guys have got to see this shirt I was wearing.
Thank you.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. It has got to be one of the nastiest,
gross. If you have any friends that you think would be interested in doing this?
This is absolutely embarrassing, but in a good way.
Share us on your social media platforms, whatever you like. I got my two helpers here tonight. We were dressed in our Sunday best, doing some gardening. Thought we better get on here because we're quickly hitting 200. So we'll see you again when there's 200. And thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a great day. And check out the wonderful sign that my helpers made. Oh, my goodness. You guys.
There, yeah. Chris Dixon says, look like you just got done for the day. I'm not even sure I was finished at that point, but it was, that was fun. That was way back when we were really excited that we had our very first 100 subscribers. It was a big deal. It took, I think, 7 months to get the first 100 subscribers. So that was fun. That was a good time. And the girls, they had a good time with it. So yeah, one step closer. Says, honey, bring daddy a beer. Absolutely. So I wanted to share a few exciting things that we can look forward to in the workshop, and a few things that you haven't had specifics on at the moment. So I figured what better time to announce a couple of interesting things than to put it on here during the 250th episode. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is, now you've heard this part, I'm going to be speaking at the Thrivalist Fair in Addy, Washington at the end of May, but I have my title and description for my two different presentations I'm going to be doing. So if you're interested in meeting up there or going, tickets are cheap. I think it's like $50 for a family for the weekend or something. So first one I'm going to be doing is called Living Free by Being Your Own Boss. There's no single way to gain freedom and independence in your life than starting your own business. Toolman Tim Cook shares his entrepreneurial journey full of practical tips to inspire and empower you towards starting your own side hustle or full-time venture today. So that'll be day one. And day two is going to be upping your home maintenance game. Building self-reliance comes in many forms. One of the areas often overlooked is home and property maintenance. Just getting started or looking to improve? Either way, Toolman Tim Cook will help you take the next step on your preparedness journey. I sound like The Rock speaking about myself in the third person. So there you go. Now, what is next? So this next one you guys have heard me talk a little bit about, but we have a date for it. The next edition of the Workshop Radio is coming up because, I love AM talk radio, and I figured what better way to do it. The last one was a huge success. A few thoughts. I'm definitely going to do a 24-hour one again next year for New Year's. That won't change. But going forward, I believe we're going to do a 4-hour segment. So the next one is going to be February 19th from 3 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening, Mountain Time. That is a Sunday, I do believe. Just make sure so we can tell you. The 19th is a Sunday, yes. So I've got a few submissions from you guys already. What we're going to do is we're going to get 15-minute pre-recordings from a ton of different content creators. We're working on 2 or 3 pretty exciting additions to the installment this time around that's going to be coming. We're going to be playing 15-minute pre-recorded segments, and then Nicole and I are going to be doing live 5-minute segments in between each person's segment. That's a lot of times to say segment. So it's pretty exciting. So we're going to do over 4 hours. We're going to have 12 content creators, and Nicole and I are going to co-host the live stream. And we're going to try to get it out. We're going to try to break a Guinness Book of World Records for having it streamed on the most channel. No, I'm just kidding. But we're going to see if other people want us to stream on their YouTube channel as well. And it is going to be the soundtrack for getting shit done. So bite-sized pieces of information, inspiration. I'm excited. This is going to turn into something big and cool, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, February 19th, 3 o'clock Mountain Time is when it's going to start. So if you're interested in getting a segment to me, I've got 5 or 6 already. We're looking for 12. Nicole has some in the pipeline. But the cool thing is, if you send me one, and we don't get it in this show, you automatically go to the top of the heap for the next one. It'll either be a monthly or a quarterly or something, but I want it to be the thing that's on in the background while you're busy doing shit, getting shit done. The thing about the 24-hour one was it was a ton of fun. And I know it was kind of the holidays and we were all chilling and doing our thing. But what I don't want this to be is something that a person feels like they absolutely have to be there. I don't want it to be a tie. I want it to be that background audio. And we're going to figure out ways to make this better, make it interactive. But as soon as I can give you guys a couple of more names for who's going to be part of it, I think you'll be really, really excited. So this is going to be great. What else we got for you? All right. So the big one that everybody has been waiting for and that I've been scared shitless to make public. So, the workshop is officially happening. Tickets will go on sale March 4th. They are going to be $200. And it is going to be for the Heritage Day weekend, August 4th to 6th, here in Provost, Alberta. I'm going to be doing multiple presentations. I'm not sure exactly on what or how many at the moment. Chris Dixon's going to be here presenting. If you guys remember Greg Gorecki from the Apocalypse Training School out of Edmonton, he's going to be here presenting. I have someone lined up to come and teach on bushcraft. I can't officially say whom yet, but that is in the works. Also working on some first aid training as well. So here's the deal. If you're interested in presenting or teaching at this, get in contact with me and we can work something out, because I've reached out to a bunch of fellow Albertans and kind of Western Canadians, but it's not necessarily completely confined to that. It's just the fact that there's an international border between me and the rest of the United States. So if you're interested, keep an eye out. I will have more information, but like I said, tickets are going to go on sale March 4th. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I cannot wait to do this. This is going to be a great thing. Food will be included for that price, of course. I'm working on making sure there's camping available. We're going to try to get the local one step closer says, oh, the Canadians are organizing again. So we're going to do it here locally. I'm 95% sure we'll be able to do it on the campground that's right here in my town, which has a covered space where we can carry on. It has fire pits where we can drink bourbon. There's going to be coffee and bourbon testings and food. So it's going to be, I'm excited. I can't wait. So March 4th, tickets go on sale, and it's family friendly, dog friendly. If you want to bring your dogs, I'm excited about that too. And it's going to be the weekend of August 4th through 6th, which is that made up Canadian Albertan government holiday called Heritage Day. So there you go. It's out in the ether. I can't take it back. Everybody excited? I know I am. So Chris Dixon says nowhere near the White House this time. We're not organizing near the White House. So yes, that is very true. So I've got a bunch of stuff in the nail bag. I'm going to reach in and pull out questions that I've been sent via email or over YouTube to answer. If anybody'd like to get on live, we'll open up the phone lines again for you. We'll throw it out here. And like I said, anybody wants to come on and chat, feel free. We'll get you in there. And with that, let's throw out. First question I got was from Eric Wickstrom over on YouTube. And he said, hey, do most electric start portable generators charge their own battery? Open frame or enclosed generators, doesn't matter. Just wondering if that's the case. So the short answer to that is yes. The long answer is it depends. So when I first bought my tri-fuel generator from Furman, I didn't realize that mine had a charging circuit in it. The more I researched into it, the more I realized, holy shit, most generators do, but they're not as robust as an alternator. And what's the biggest problem with generators is they tend to sit for long periods of time. And of course, the last thing you want to do is pull on that big beefy pull cord to get your generator up and running. So yes, most do have a charging circuit on them. The problem is that if you're doing routine maintenance and you're running your generator, say 15 minutes every 2 or 3 months, that's not enough to top up that battery typically. And if it's sitting in an unheated garage or anything like that, well, that can drain down the battery as well. So even though most generators do have some sort of charging circuit in it, I think it's prudent and wise to make sure you have a trickle charger hooked up to any piece of equipment like that. But the most important to me is a generator, because if anybody's ever tried to pull over a generator, especially a cold generator that hasn't started in multiple months, you're not going to have a good time no matter how you slice it. So get yourself a cheap little $20 trickle charger, keep it hooked up all the time, and that will solve your problems. But yes, so short answer, most generators do have a charging circuit. Long answer, they're woefully underpowered and don't tend to be designed for the job that they're made to do. So you're better off to have backup, because 2 is 1, 1 is none, and 3 is a guarantee. Next, this one came from, I cut her name off, but a lady over on YouTube, and she wants to know, with a generator, how often do I need to change the oil while it's running? I get asked this question all the time. And, Chris Dixon asks about solar, and I'm wondering if he's talking about a solar trickle charger. Now, the one I have is not. Mine is a plug-in one. I just picked up off Amazon. It was like $15. The brand name is like Leicester or Leicester, something like that. I don't know anyway. But it works great. But I did pick up a solar one from Harbor Freight that I'm going to try. Those are great because you don't even need to have power. And a lot of times people, if it's an unheated garage, it probably doesn't have power either. So then what do you do? And yes, those little solar ones are great. You just take them up. A lot of them are like somewhere between 8 and 20 watts, I think. They're just a tiny little panel. You hook it up to or mount it to the outside, preferably somewhere south facing, but that doesn't always work. And then just run the wiring inside. So yes, this lady asks about how often do I need to change the oil when running a generator? Well, the first one tends to be the break-in period. My firm and a lot of them recommend after about 25 hours. Now, if it says longer than that, I would still say you're better off to change the oil after 25 hours, especially if you're like me. And again, my generator only runs every, 15 minutes every 2 or 3 months. I mean, knock on wood, I hope that's all it runs. Now, if you finally get to kind of knock the sweat off it and let it run for a while, great. Change the oil as needed. But once a year, back up a little bit, after 25 hours for the break-in period, and then most generators are every 100 hours of running time after that. Now, it doesn't hurt that if it's just sitting around to give it a change once a year, just because it gives you a chance to look everything over, make sure it's running, and yeah. So let's move on from that one. The next one, I don't know what I did. I have deleted half the names of the people who asked me these questions. So I apologize to the people who did. I've already answered some of these over on YouTube at the moment, but they wanted to know if you can mix seafoam, which I call magic in a can, with PRI-G, which is my favorite type of fuel stabilizer. They said, say I've treated and stored gas for 2 years and want to clean out the fuel system. Is it okay to add seafoam? Well, there's nothing on the website that says yay or nay. So the only way I can answer this question is through personal experience. And in my personal experience, I've had no problem with it at all. I use PRI-G as my fuel stabilizer. What's great about that is it's an infinite stabilizer. It's the only one on the market that you can continuously treat fuel, whereas all the other ones say you can treat it for 1 year and then it's no good after that. But I use seafoam as a carb cleaner or an engine cleaner. So you put it in and it kind of, grabs all that gunk that's built up in the carburetor and it shoots it out, spits it out the other end. So yeah, no, at least through personal experience, no problem at all. I mean, seafoam is also a fuel stabilizer, but it just burns up like regular fuel as well. So yeah, you're not going to do any harm by adding those two together at all. Next one comes from Ted Shar, and he said, reality check, or to be on the safe side with the the trickle charger that I recommend from Amazon, model EPA 102012. If it's hooked up to my generator battery properly, is it safe to keep it on the generator's battery fully charged? Yes. Lots of people have questions about trickle chargers because they don't necessarily understand how they work. But basically what they do is they sit there, they monitor the charge of the battery, and every time it drops a little bit, it just kind of gives it this little boom. And you like the sound effects, right? Basically, it just tops it up as needed. And if it realizes the battery's fully charged, then it shuts itself off. The only time you need to unhook the trickle charger, and I don't mean remove it from the generator, I just mean unplug it from the wall, is anytime you want to run the generator itself. Other than that, keep it on 24/7, 365. You will not have any problems. And it's the best way to ensure that when you go to push that button or turn that key, you're going to have a good time as opposed to a bad time. So next one comes from Number One Foreman. This is a comment or some community interaction. I really appreciated it. I like hearing from people who have real world experience in things, but they're talking about, commenting on some of the Chinese knockoff batteries, in particular the Whately ones that you guys have heard me recommend in the past. He said, here's what we learned in our shop. I've amassed quite the DeWalt collection of tools over the past several years. Good man. Around 25 to 30 impacts, grinders, saws, etc., including quite a few of their newest tool releases. Little patting himself on the back there. Myself and my employees use a lot of these daily in a commercial shop setting. We've tried a lot of those Chinese batteries, including several of the Whately batteries. What we have learned is that the Whately batteries are probably the best Chinese battery for the money, best in general. They work well for limited use applications when you have backup batteries available. With all that being said, we've recently gone back to spending a little bit more on DeWalt branded batteries. We've learned that the DeWalt batteries not only last longer while using them, they hold up much better long term, as in a year or two down the road, especially being used daily or semi-daily. He said, I've noticed a fairly significant price decrease in the genuine DeWalt batteries, something I've noticed as well. And he said, especially on eBay, which I didn't know. I'd be a little nervous of eBay because I've run into some knockoffs on there from occasion, but said you can purchase a twin pack of 5 amp hours for less than $100 these days. That's only $30 to $40 more than the Chinese counterpart with a much higher quality. My suspicion is that the FlexVolt batteries will eventually drop in price similar to the non-FlexVolt batteries as well. Thanks for all you do. So I had to share that with you guys because that is a guy who uses cordless tools and DeWalt tools day in and day out and has a lot of experience with both the knockoffs and the regular batteries. And honestly, what I really appreciated about that was with everything he said, it basically reaffirmed kind of my findings with the Whately batteries. They're really good for, lower drain applications. I have used it almost exclusively in my battery powered blower. It gives me enough juice that I need. It's not getting overly hot like it would with a drill or a grinder or a circular saw, that kind of stuff. And it's held up well. But like you said, with the price only being, 30 to 40% more at this point, you might be better off buying them. Yes, that's exactly it. Chris Dixon said the Whately batteries overheat easily, but are great for light usage. Yes, they are. That seems to be the case. And if you guys remember the knockoff 9 amp hour FlexVolt battery that I was sent for free, and I asked for 2 because I wanted to chop one up and see what was inside. Well, spoiler alert, I chopped it up to see what was inside anyway. The problem is that I had my camera on, well, at least pointing at the battery when I did it, but it didn't record. So anyway, I didn't get any footage. I have a few pictures. There wasn't anything. The problem was all the cells in there were completely unlabeled. There was no way to get any information off them. So basically, my suspicions were that it was more like a 6 amp hour quote unquote FlexVolt battery, and it wasn't even quite that good. So it looks like they're using, knockoff cells. Everything in there looked good, the best I could tell with my uneducated eye. But I really wish I'd have gotten a video of me tearing that apart because it was a lot of fun. I had a few sparks a few times. I thought I was going to light the garage on fire with one of them lithium-ion batteries, which is not funny at all. I shouldn't laugh, but at the time I laughed quite a bit, but I just didn't get it on video. So unfortunately, you guys won't be blessed with the stupidity that I did. So there you go. So next one was Anita Williams. This is another one. This was nice to hear. Said, thanks so much for creating a video. I was intimidated when I read the instructions for this trickle charger, which includes so many warnings, I almost gave up. Your instruction shows how simple it actually is, and it's great to know I can leave the charger attached all the time, so the push button starter will always work. Should I unplug the charger from the wall when I actually need to run the generator? Well, I answered that earlier, but yeah, I just wanted to share that because I love hearing from people who say, hey, I watched your video and now I have the courage to do shit that I didn't have the courage to do before. And you guys have followed me. You've heard my story all along. And, you know, the number one person that I thank for that is my missus upstairs. She was always encouraging me, always telling me to do shit that I would down talk myself and say, nope, can't do it, not going to do it, never done it. And then I would go and do it. And I'm like, well, shit, why didn't I do that before? Hey, Porterhouse and Teal, good to have you, brother. Always good to have you. Yes, thank you very much. Congrats on 250 episodes, he said. Good to have you. And Porterhouse, if you weren't here earlier, I just announced the workshop for the weekend of August the 5th and 6th up here. So, you know, just in case you want to take a leisurely stroll from California up, love to have you. So always good to have you. But yeah, so Anita, thank you for sharing that with me because like I said, anything worth doing is going to be a little bit intimidating when you first get started. And when you start or when that little voice in your head says, shit, you can't do this. Why are you even trying to do this? Well, why would you bother? Just say, you know what? I ain't listening to you, little devil on my shoulder. I'm going to go and do it. And you know what? I might fuck it up 2 or 3 times, but by the time I'm done, I will have gone to the school of hard knocks and I will now know how to do something I didn't know how to do before. And the cool thing is that almost everything that's intimidating only seems intimidating before you get the information and before you take the time to break it down into a step-by-step process. When you see someone else do it, and then you break it down into, oh, I connected here, I connected there. That's all there is to it. That's it. And I always, I love to hear anybody. And it's especially heartwarming when you hear ladies who are like, hey, I went out and did this. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And I forgot another announcement, guys, that I'll get to here when I get the last of. Okay, so next I went through the cesspool that was my TikTok comments and thought I would share with you some of the absolute best TikTok comments that are out there. So these are always fun. And it's fun to razz on people, but Mitch the bitch made me money. So I always love to take some of the fun comments that people say and talk about them. So this first one was quite funny. It's from a user called Hot Sauce is Best. I agree. I like hot sauce. I got nothing wrong with your username, dude. So this was in a video about the Milwaukee and the Sharpie markers. And he said, bro, I don't know what it is with TikTok, but everybody calls you bro in the comments. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess he assumed my gender, but anyway, that's another story. Said, bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to keep stealing both of them from Home Depot and use whatever I have in my pocket. I'm like, hey, thanks for the honesty. They're not that expensive. You know, if you go to hardware stores and you talk nicely, most of them will give you a few carpenter's pencils for free. We always kept a bunch on hand in at a hardware store. But anyway, whatever floats your boat, dude. If you need to steal markers from Home Depot to get through your day, whatever. Hunter says, I still choose Milwaukee. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm just going to throw this link out again while we're going. If I'm going to open up the phone lines one more time, like I said, who says that I don't try new things, but I always love it. So all you need is a cell phone or a computer. If you're on your phone, you can just click this link. And if you're like, I don't want Tim to see me, I'm in my pajamas. Well, you don't have to. Just click audio only. Don't accept the video end of it. Put your name in and you can join the live stream. There is the StreamYard link to come in and discuss whatever you want. Anything between the Chupacabra and the Roswell UFO. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever you want. So we're going to do the Art Bell thing. So that was the first beautiful TikTok comment that just made me smile. That was the funniest one. Most of them are just kind of whatever. So The next one was a video I did on, I think the title was Don't Tell Me That Windshield Washer Fluid Isn't a Prep. It was a 60-second video all about windshield washer fluid. And BDog1889 decided to comment and said, hey, dude, your flue pipe on your wood stove isn't up to code. I'm like, thanks. I'm glad you're wet certified. Appreciate it. If you think I care, well, you got something coming to you. So anyway, I'm just like, I don't know. Who takes the time to look in the background of somebody's video and comment on their own shit? But I guess, hey, I put myself out there, so there you go. This one was really good. This was about my wet certified. It's I don't even know what it stands for, but it's the thing up here in Canada that allows you to legally install. I know I look too, Hunter, but I don't take it upon myself to leave comments on TikToks about what I see. But anyway, that's just me. So the next one was really good. BDog1889. In according to, how do you want to put it? According to this dude, I should be rich. So I did a video on my Costco haul. I bought like 5 tools and I'm like, hey, who wants to see it? Because people love shit. Anytime I put Costco in the title of a TikTok, it does everything. It does well. So he said, man, Costco must be paying these people pretty good. He said, there's 1 million of them showing Costco items. Well, first off, if anybody knows how to get sponsored by Costco, it might help cut down our grocery bill when we go there because, yeah, me and the missus love to go there. But, yeah, not sponsored. Don't know what they're talking about. But, yeah, apparently they think that Costco's paying us to put videos out there. I just love to share what I have to share. The next one was a video, a clickbait titled video that I made called How to Light an Entire Home with a DeWalt Battery. Now, the thing is, if you watch the video, it's actually not clickbait because you can light up a whole house using LED Christmas lights off of a DeWalt battery with the inverter. But this person didn't believe me. So Southpaw 3PO said, very sneaky and misleading. Man, sorry, guys. I think I'm going to quit making content now. Very sneaky and misleading. You can't light the entire house. Only every light in the house one at a time. 200 watts won't do it. That's called not thinking outside the box. So I don't know. Here's my thing. If you have a 9-watt LED light bulb and you put one in one lamp in every room in your home, if you have 20 rooms in your home, you can still light up an entire house with 200 watts. That's 180 watts. So I don't know. Anyway, but 2 or 3 strings of LED Christmas lights, if you kind of stretch them out and run them from one part of the house to the other, hell yeah, you can light an entire house off of a DeWalt battery. But apparently my title was sneaky and misleading. So I hope you'd appreciate that. The next one was on the Cat brand booster pack that yeah, Chris Dixon says, I can light an entire house with beeswax. Not well, but still not dark. And technically, I guess if you tried to open up a DeWalt battery pack and the lithium battery caught on fire, you could temporarily light up an entire house pretty quick. And Hunter says, send an email. Dear sir and or madam, do y'all sponsor people? Sincerely, Tim. Costco, yeah. Becky's always at me. She's like, you need to talk to Costco. I'm like, nah, it's fine. I'm good. So this one was from Simran, Simran. And this was about the Cat brand battery pack. It was kind of funny. It's a product you buy. It's the one I tore apart to show the battery that was in. Oh my God, look who is live. So I'm going to answer this one, and then I'm going to bring on this brother from another mother who's in the background. So yeah. So this guy, I'm showing this $150 battery pack, and he's like, sorry, dude, I build my own battery packs, and it's pretty easy to do and very cheap. I'm like, well, that's a cool flex. I'm like, I'm not asking if you build them. I'm just reviewing this damn battery pack for you. So we're going to open up the wild card line, guys, and this is east of the Rockies, and we have let's bring him on here. My paramedic brother, Don. How are you, brother?
Hey, Tim, how are you?
Very, very good. This is nice to talk to you electronic face-to-face. We text a lot, but I haven't seen you since Tennessee, April, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute. I had to get some things in order. No, saw you on and just, why not? Just jump in.
I appreciate it. Yeah. How's life been treating you?
Things go okay, and then it gets handed to you. Yeah, screw it. I'll tell it.
Yeah. Come on, share your story, brother.
Yeah, no. How many you got listening to this? Like 6, 7?
Right now we do. There'll be
Okay.
probably I don't know. There'll be 700 or 800 by tomorrow. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Well, you and we're both Tech Response alumni,
yes.
and part of all the curriculum they always talk about, you're going to eventually meet that actual evil person.
Yep.
I met him last night.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit. It blew me away. It really did. And the screwy part is he's one of my students.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know if this is the right forum for it, but it's one of those things like just had the urge to kind of share that. I've been with this guy for the past 3, 4 months now, and just eye-opening. Like you never quite know. So it's when I see like people like you, Chuck, it really just makes you appreciate what you have in the way of community and people. So I figured I'd come on here and just kind of preach that.
I appreciate it. Without going into detail, like I said, it's fucking open line, so you can say whatever you want. But
Yeah.
What lesson did you learn from it, or what do you got to do going forward to deal with something like that?
Nothing.
No.
I don't think there's anything I could have done different. I'm meeting up with an old boss of mine, and we're gonna talk about a couple of things, and just he's got a decade on me, and he's a good friend and mentor.
Nice.
So we're gonna reflect on some things, talk about some things, and just move forward. It could happen to anyone. Just I don't know. Yeah.
So how about you? Oh, go ahead, man. No, go ahead.
Oh.
Ambulance confessionals. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Because I love the fucking name. I know I've told you that before. It reminds me. I don't know why, but there used to be. Do you remember Taxi Cab Confessions? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
You're a little younger than me, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think you are. So yeah, that was one of them shows that used to. It was like kind of like 1 o'clock in the morning, Showtime, HBO. It was pretty racy at times. Yeah. But the name always every time somebody says confessional. So yeah, Hunter remembers. So
okay.
Pepperidge Farm remembers too. So yeah, go ahead.
If you get looking for me, you can find me at EMT Don on Instagram, and I have ambulance driver confessionals. One of the jokes, it doesn't matter if you're an EMR, EMT, or a paramedic. To the layperson, it's like, oh, you're an ambulance driver. Yes, I am. It doesn't matter if you work for a private or for a fire department. And it kind of segues into like, that's why I was kind of calm with what I brought in, what we talked about that first couple of minutes in the segment, because like I've learned more riding with patients in the back of an ambulance than I ever could in just day-to-day life. I don't like the phrase expect the unexpected. I like to be able to adapt and improvise as we go along. So with ambulance driver confessionals, I'm not telling real war stories. I'm not telling any of the cool guy shit. It's more of the life lessons that come with just meeting people. You want one?
Yeah, that's why I ask you.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Pick a topic. Let's see if I got a story for it.
Oh man, how to handle panic?
Panic. Beautiful. I was partnered with a CCT medic, and the company I work for, we have a 911 side, and we have the other side, which is interfacility transport. Anyone who's EMS, I know in the States that's how it works. I'm not sure abroad or anything like that. So I can do everything he can. The biggest difference with his license is he can actually operate a vent.
Okay.
And it was just a standard call, and this patient was going for imaging, and she was suffering from COVID, and she was on a vent. We get there, we change out O2 bottles, and before we can hook her up to the vent and get her over to our stretcher, it's not right. Something doesn't feel right. I remember when you were talking with Chuck. So you might have a better understanding of this now. Person's baseline, right?
Mhm.
Our baseline, we are warm, pink, and dry.
Right.
It doesn't matter, African American, Caucasian. We are warm, pink, and dry. She was very cool, clammy, and moist, diaphoretic almost. So
Okay.
diaphoresis, excessive sweating, and it didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with him. And we're, what the hell's going on? This doesn't feel right. And the nurse comes in, and she, oh, I have to give her insert medication here. I'm not going to say the medication.
Yeah. No worries.
It's, and whatever it did, it just kind of tanked all her stats, all her numbers. And now she's on our stretcher, and we got to hustle. And I got a student with me. Okay, so 2 medics and a student, and this woman who's in her 50s on a vent. And then her daughter's with us too. So we get her to the ambulance, and we get her all hooked up, and we're mid transport. Now I've got my partner in the back. I've got my patient and my student in the back, and up front on my right, I have her daughter.
Oh,
And
okay.
this is just supposed to be a standard transport. Going for imaging, bring her back, call it a day, write up the paperwork. Um, but we were no more than 5 or 6 minutes into the 20-minute transport, and my partner, he kind of pokes his head through the little peephole, and hey, Don, do an easy 3 to the closest hospital. I'm like, what now? Yeah, do an easy 3. What he meant by that was code 3, lights and sirens. She really started going sideways, and then I saw him working with the vent. I saw the EMT student pulling out the bag valve, and
Wow.
yeah, it's like this is just supposed to be a standard transport.
Sure.
And I hear him walking her through everything on what to do and how to do it. And as soon as he said code 3, do the easy 3, um, shit. That was the exact word that popped in my head, but I didn't say it because of who was sitting next to me.
Sure.
And
So he
her,
tried not to upset her. Was that the idea?
correct.
Okay.
That's why I try to remain calm. But you could hear all the hustle and the bustle in the back. So she got a little agitated, and I told her what they were doing. I told her, I'll never lie to a patient. I'll never lie to a patient's family member.
Sure.
They started doing their thing, and she's trying to call her siblings, like, okay, we're not going to this facility, we're going to the hospital, mom's not doing well. So I'm driving lights and sirens of an ambulance. I've got my student in the back, I've got my partner in the back and a patient, and I got her daughter that's,
Wow.
I don't even know how to describe. My eyes are like locked on the road, so I really couldn't see her. And we're going, and the daughter's not familiar with the area. And it's like, where are we going? I tell her the name of the hospital, and it's one of those, she's under such duress. Um, one thing you learn is like when you're under real severe duress, like fine motor skills, these become flippers,
Right.
So we don't have these
Pasty
become
mouth
flippers.
and flipper
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah. She can't type in the name of the hospital. It was one of those weird sounding ones, but it was one of the major trauma centers in our area, and that's where we're going. So somehow driving her, we have the little GPS on our dash. I typed in the address and told her where it is, where we're going, what's going on, and just somehow I hate an adrenaline dump. I really do. But I'm driving lights and sirens. I'm going through intersections, and I was driving with due regard. If a speed limit's 30 miles an hour, I'm maybe going 35.
Okay.
I don't take advantage with lights and sirens. And I see her daughter in absolute distress, well, out of the corner of my eye. And I've got, what, 5 people, myself included, that I've got to drive and get to this hospital where we didn't even think this was going to go. And somehow, and all the bullshit, we got there. And that's kind of when the skill takes over, and we just hand it off to the ER staff. And the daughter was very happy. And we don't know how the patient turned out, but we're all at the end of the call, and like when the adrenaline spikes, that's one thing, but then on the back end, we were just like, what the hell just happened there? And then the one thing I remember that me and Joe are looking at each other, my partner, like, well, didn't see that coming. But the kid, the student, like, wow, can we do that again? I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you want to talk about panic, and here's the 20-year-old kid that's riding with us. I'm in my 30s, Joe's in his 40s, like, and here's this 20-year-old, like, yeah, let's do some more cool stuff. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Clean the stretcher. Yeah. So that's one of them. Panic. I think I could probably come up with a story for any emotion you were to throw at me.
And what do you do with that? The downward spike of adrenaline dump afterwards? Are there any tips for handling that?
No, each their own. For me, an ambulance is set for one person, one patient, one call.
Okay.
So after our call was done, Joe ran the call, so he's working on the report. I grabbed all the equipment and restocked what we used, and the kids cleaning up. And I don't want to call it a ritual, but part of what kind of hones me in is cleaning up the mess, resetting for the next patient, and then tucking the sheet into the stretcher and making it look like it just came out of the garage.
Okay.
You know, and ironically, the ambulance we were in is that one of the picture I showed you.
Yeah, so, with yep,
yeah,
the one you sent me a little while ago.
Yeah,
that's cool. I can see that.
Yeah, just reset it and on to the next one.
That's incredible.
It really is. Yeah,
but it is what it is. You got to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Brother Don, I got to say thank you for coming on, my friend. This I had no idea what was going to happen tonight, and I think we're going to do this more often. This is cool. And you're coming on. I don't have the date in front of me, but you're going to be on
March 26th.
Oh,
March 26th. I picked that right on purpose. I'll be at Self-Reliance.
Okay.
And 26th, I think Molly and I will be coming back.
Okay.
So if I'm in a hotel, if I'm on the car, you'll see me. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Anyone who's listening, if they want some more cool stories, that's the coolest one I had. That was one from Confessions of an Ambulance Driver.
Appreciate it. And
yeah.
Thanks for sharing your heart, man. And if you got you know the rule, but if you need to talk, my number's there every time you get it. So
yeah. I'll reach out to you tomorrow. I'll give you a scoop on some stuff.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right.
Take care.
Right. Thanks, Tim.
Night. Well, guys, that was hey, another caller. That was fun. I really appreciate you just don't know who's going to come on or what's going to happen. Thank you, Brother Donald, for coming on. I always love talking to him. We chat behind the scenes quite a bit. So yeah. Beyond that, what else did I want to share with you guys? I had one more thing I wanted to show you. Give me a second here. And you know what? If anybody's still out there listening and would like to come on, I'm going to open up the lines one more time. We're going to give this a shot. There is the link. I shared it across Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You don't need to install anything. All you got to do is click on the link and choose join, and you will be in the background, and I will bring you on just like I did with Jeremy and Dawn, which was great. Thank you guys for coming on. I want to show you guys. Give me a second here, and we will bring this up. We're going to share the screen, and there we are. So this right here is my latest announcement. It's called the Workshop Wasteland. I'm just full of new projects and new surprises recently, but what this is going to be, if you've noticed, Friday night show in the workshop has been lately The Last of Us, and almost weekly we have done some sort of episode on pop culture. whether it's my top 5 zombie movies or my top 5 90s shit hit the fan, whatever it happens to be. And if you guys know, obviously I'm rather passionate about movies and film and books and all of that. And I really wanted to have an outlet for that. So what I'm going to do going forward, well, soon anyway, I just wanted to show you this logo and give you an idea of where it was heading. The Friday night show will still be part of the greater workshop feed. So you'll always get your 4 episodes a week in the workshop feed. But if you're more inclined to just like the pop culture stuff, we are going to brand that the Workshop Wasteland. And that's going to be on Friday. It's going to have its own YouTube channel. So we'll be simul streaming. That's probably not the right word, but whatever. Simul streaming onto that channel. It'll also have its own podcast feed for those who want to just subscribe to that. And hopefully it'll bring some more people in to get a taste of the workshop. And maybe it'll be a little workshop evangelism where a few people get in and they're like, hey, this crazy anarchist prepper from Canada that used to have a beard that looked like a terrorist, he might know what he's talking about. So it's going to give me an outlet to, for me and the missus to collaborate together more often. It's going to give me an outlet to talk about some more of my interests, but it's also going to allow people to focus just on that if that's what they want. But yeah, and as far as the podcast goes, I mean, nothing's going to change. There'll be the Friday will be kind of a going forward, at least for a bit. It's going to be the pop culture thing, and we're going to get back to doing some more on the entrepreneurship. Of course, every Sunday night is the interview, and it's just a lot of fun. Hey, oh boy, we got an extra special guest who just popped in right now. So let's open up the wild card line, and we will see. Hang on here, guys. We're going to close this one out, and we will see who just happened to show up. Good day.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So who are you and where are you from?
Well, my name is Eric. I go by Porterhouse sometimes. Got a YouTube channel, Porterhouse and Teal. And I reside in California, of all places. It's not exactly the Garden State anymore.
Not exactly a bastion of freedom, but neither is Canada. So don't worry.
Right. No doubt about it, man. Well, congrats on your 250, bro. That's cool.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this was about 18. I don't know. Anyway, it's been close to 2 years since I did my first live stream. So
wow. Yeah, you've been working hard, man. You've been putting in work.
We're doing it. It's become a thing. This community has been I don't even know how to put it. If I think back to when I first started, the first 100 subscribers to everything, and I always made the content for the community that was going to come along. And now when I go to places like Self-Reliance Festival and I get to meet guys like Porterhouse, who's like, hey, you know what? I was listening to you the other day, or I remember the first time when I went to Nicole's workshop and this elderly couple come up and chatted with me. And they're like, well, Tim, we were just listening to your podcast in the car. And you forget that people actually listen to your shit. You know, it's pretty humbling, isn't it?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man. Like, it's always like, it just kind of lets you know that you do have an impact, even if sometimes maybe you don't think you do, you know. People come up and, hey man, I follow you, or I listen to your stuff and I really enjoy it or whatever. And yeah, it is very humbling. So yeah, man, congrats again. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. So what have you been up to in the wonderland that is California lately?
Yeah, just trying to get a lot of stuff done around here that, I guess just nailing down some of the priorities that, we've identified that we want to get done. And we're just trying to chip away at them every day, trying to avoid all the bullshit that is out there, all the negativity. And, I don't really pay too much attention to it. I wind up hearing it just inadvertently, but yeah, we're just plugging away, man, doing our thing.
How do you do that? Okay. Because one of my big commitments here is to never become that guy who mongers fear, or that guy that is 100% always screaming at the top of his lungs, look at this Chinese balloon, or look at the price of eggs, or whatever the issue du jour is. So how you get any tips, or how do you personally try to stay away from all that bullshit?
Well, what I found, man, is it just, I like everybody else, you get sucked into the thing of the day, and it's something to talk about. And once you kind of realize that you can't do anything about it, once you realize that it's just noise and it's there to kind of get you upset and distracted, that was kind of I was into politics and into all this, watching the news and watching this program or that program and talk radio. And, it's just, after a while, man, it's just so like, it just beats you down, and you're like, at least for me, it just makes you in a foul mood. And so when I can turn that off and avoid hearing about it altogether and just focusing on what is important in my life, moving my life forward, that's what like gives me peace right there, So, I mean, I hear about news because other people are going to tell me about news, and we're in contact with enough people that if something is to go down, you're going to hear about it, anything of significance, So I don't really like pay attention to the just the shit every day, because it just brings me down. I actually, we don't watch TV. We don't have cable. We don't have any of that bullshit. We watch like, we watch like Will Ferrell movies and stuff, man. That's like
nice.
All we do. We put those in. We've seen them 100 times, but we put those in and watch those and go to sleep to them. That's about the extent of our television, escape. But I don't listen to the radio. It's never on when I'm in my car, just because I got tired of hearing all the shit they want you to hear every time the commercial comes on. It just bums me out. So that's how I deal with it.
That's cool. So I've been listening to, I'm getting ready to do another show on Art Bell and Coast to Coast and some of the stuff that he did. So I've been going back. I'll pick random shows of his. So today I listened to a show from July of 1996. So what's that? That's pushing 30 years ago, not quite, but that's 27 years ago. And people called in. At the time, it was Bob Dole was running for president. Okay, so there was Bob Dole running for president. I think it was the Montana militiamen or something. They had put together some sort of compound, or whatever it was.
Right.
And to the people who called in, you would have thought that the goddamn world was ending. They were so either upset or happy about Bob Dole, or, he's either the worst guy in the world or he was going to be the savior for humanity. And the people in Montana, they were, you got to go in and you got to haul them out by force if necessary, whatever it was. And here we are 27 years later, and those things that people spent all that energy on worrying about didn't affect the price of anything anywhere to do. They just took that energy, and instead of turning it into something incredible, like like a homestead, or like a bug out location, or content creation, they just decided to focus on, I don't know. Do you think do you think people feel like they gain a little bit of control when they bitch about the world's problems? Or what do you think? Well, why do you think people do that? That's my, because I mean, you mentioned you used to be into politics, and I was too, just constantly bitching about this or that, just vote harder and things would get better,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think a lot of it is just how we've been programmed. We've been really programmed to pick a side, and, people like drama for whatever reason. People like gossip. They like to talk about what's going on, and, oh, did you hear this or whatever? And, I guess I just kind of got to the point where some of that stuff's maybe a little interesting potentially, but when you realize it doesn't really matter what happens halfway across the country, it just doesn't. It sucks for those people, right? It sucks for them and people that know them and all of that. But if there's something that goes down in another place and I don't know the people, what the fuck do I care? Absolutely. It's just, that's the way I got to look at it, because I can't waste my energy worrying about what's happening elsewhere so I can, sit there and tell somebody about it. But people like to do that. I don't really know what the reason for that is. Maybe it's just because we're a tribal, being, right? We want to commiserate with people that have our same thought processes and beliefs and all that sort of thing. And I get it, but it's just like at some point you gotta like realize you can't do anything about it. So why are you like spending all your energy there? But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know if you remember the great 90s philosopher that was the band Soul Asylum, but they had that Misery Loves Company,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it comes down to is, like you said, some people just like to commiserate. But so let's focus. Well, let me ask you one more thing here then.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing to be more free or more independent right now? What is the thing that gets you up in the morning, that lights your eyes up, and you're using to make your life better right now?
Right. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the things that are positive in my life. First of all, is to recognize and identify what my deficiencies are. What are the areas in where I'm not free, right? And there's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of things that like give me cause for like, man, I should have done that shit years ago. But, I'm doing it now. So I've recognized some of the things that I've just kind of went, that's fine. It'll always be there. We'll always be able to just flip the switch and the lights will come on, right? We'll always be able to like, do this and water will come out of the tap. And so when you realize that like you're vulnerable because you don't maybe have those redundancies, those are the things that I'm focusing on. I'm trying to get myself more free in that way. And then just doing the same things that I always do, which is trying to keep myself fit and build a better life every day. It's like Rome isn't like built in a day, right? It's like incremental steps. And I feel good about all of the things that I'm doing. I mean, you were a big inspiration for me to do content creation. I like to create.
You're a damn natural at it.
Well, thank you. Like I say, I just believe we all have something to share. I think we all have information that can be passed along, and my information isn't any better than anybody else's. It's just that, listening to you at SRF, it's like, just throw your name in that thing, man. Do something that's going to make yourself a little bit freer, and content creation can do that because it opens up revenue streams that, were untapped before. So those are things that I'm trying to work on, because, I've always really wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was just too fucking lazy to actually do it. Right. I was too comfortable just being a government worker.
And it's goddamn scary too. I won't lie. I mean, I remember the day I pulled the plug and I was fucking scared shitless. There's no getting around it, but you did it. How many subscribers you got right now, Porterhouse, on YouTube? Just,
like 23,000, I think. Yeah, man. It's fucking crazy.
And he messaged me like, I don't fucking know. Was it like 24 months ago? He's like, do you want to come on for my first live stream? I'm just about to hit 500 subscribers. So
yeah,
I can't wait to get on stage at SRF next year and tell that story. Well, I'd like you to get up there too, but I can't wait. That is right there, right? That is fucking baby steps. That wasn't even baby steps. That was running right through the goddamn finish line. But
right.
That is, and that's just from doing, right? Because
a bit of it is luck, but also too, I've been applying myself to try to put out better content and get something that, people will appreciate or whatever. And, I picked kind of a strategy of attacking it by not only putting out long form content like once a week, but doing the shorts interspersed into there. And shorts have a lot of reach. Whether or not the people that are subscribing are going to be long-term valuable, people or not, or they're just, they subscribe. Because I mean, most of my subscribers came from like one fucking video, man, like one viral video that's got like 3 million views right now. So
whatever a person wants to think about that, you're a model of consistency at this point, and you're putting out in that for I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but what I love about it is you've committed to your craft, you've committed to a schedule or a at least a consistent release of content, and you're just trying to get better every time you do it. Like, your videos are just fucking entertaining. I could listen to you talk all day. You've just got away with it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Like I say, I just want to try to put something out there that people can get some value out of. And, that's my goal, is to try to make it better, all the time,
What is it? 1% better. Okay. 1% better every day. And at the end of the year, you'll be 3,800% better. So Hoff said, he's from Northern Cali. He wanted to know what part of Cali you're from.
Yeah, I'm in the northern Sacramento Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Eric. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, yeah. I was out for a run yesterday, and I was like 5 miles out, and I was coming back, and they chip sealed the road. So when they chip sealed, sometimes they have like these rocks that are like not chips. They're like an actual rocks.
Yep.
And you don't see them. And so when you're running on smooth surface, you don't pick your feet up necessarily. When you get a little lazy, you kind of shuffle a little bit more. And if you clip a rock, then you go down. And that's what I did yesterday, man. And I blasted my hands. Yeah. So this hand, I can hardly use it. I think I actually had x-rays today to see, if something was damaged, like beyond what it, needed to be repaired. So I got to just keep it immobile for I think they said like 10 days or something. And then, kind of reevaluate from there. But yeah, I took a gnarly header, and of course, falling on chip sealed asphalt, it's like a cheese grater, man, on your freaking skin. And just like my knee is all gnarled up. I took a big chunk out of my knee, and then my hands are fucking jacked up. So
you just never know when something's going to jump up and bite you. And that's I love striving toward independence and self-reliance and entrepreneurship. But the downside is that we are required to be there. And if we get hurt, or if our bodies get wrecked, man, we can be in a whole world of hurt, because a lot of times you got no choice. You got to keep going, right?
Yeah. I usually I just run it off and shit, but I was hurting, man. I called my daughter to see if she was home. I'm like, hey, and she didn't pick up the phone because she couldn't get notified or whatever. And I was like ready to tap out. I'm like, fuck, man, somebody's need to come pick me up. But then I wound up just like sucking it up and running home, I couldn't even hardly sleep last night. The shit hurt so bad. It's all swollen up. But hey man, you got to keep doing shit, even if it's sometimes dangerous. Getting out of bed's dangerous every day, right?
Ain't that the truth? Because we could lay in bed all day long and the fucking ceiling could fall in on us, right?
That's right. That's right. Hey, so how's the weather up there, man? Snow removal? What are you guys doing? It's a cold as shit or what?
No, we've had a warm winter. We have not had, warm is a fucking relative term, right? So we have had, we had about 20 inches of snow in November and December, but it never got cold, like, minus 10 Celsius, which is not cold for us, right? Yeah. And then January was hugely above seasonal. February is the same. So we normally we'll get a couple of weeks where it's like fucking minus 40 for, 10 to 12 days straight. We haven't had it this year. Like it's barely been, and I know this is, like I said, relative, but we barely hit minus 20 2 or 3 times, and that was it. So we've been lucky. If we can make it a couple of more weeks, we'll get snow and we'll get cold, but we won't get the cold snap like we normally get. And I'm happy. I'm ready to be done with winter. This is about 6. Yeah. Chris Dixon says, knock on wood, about 6 weeks to go. This is when I start checking out, and I'm like, I'm ready. I'm tired of seeing the white stuff fall from the sky. I'm ready to be done.
Right. So, now gardening up there, man, how do you guys manage any of that? Is it because your growing season has to be pretty narrow, right?
Yeah, it's about 12 days. So no, it's about honestly, it's about 3 months. You can extend it. You might get 100 days out of it, but at least here, basically the 1st of June to the end of August is the only, and even then you can't guarantee that you're going to have frost-free days. Right. But those 3 months, you can be pretty safe to know, hey, I can plant a garden in those 3 months, with hoops and, heat or protection, and with, fingers crossed and a little bit of luck, you could add 6 weeks to that maybe.
Oh, but brutal.
Yeah. So there's that. That's why cereal crops are so big here, because they don't, they have a relatively short growing. Yeah. So this explains it. Chris Dixon lives a little south of me here in Alberta, and he says, I hope growing season lands on a Saturday this year. And it's not far off. I mean, coming from Nova Scotia and the southwest tip of Nova Scotia, which is, other than Vancouver, the warmest part of Canada, and we really could grow from the 1st of April till the end of October there. No problem at all. And to come out here and you go from, what's that, 6 months, 7 months to 3 months, it's tough. You know, you have to be really choosy on what you want. You know, what did we, well, berries are okay. Some berries are pretty good. You know, comfrey, Chris brought me some comfrey last year and that grew like gangbusters.
Nice.
So, you know, there's some things that do, but yeah, you got to be, I'm telling you, like I said, cereal crops up here and grains and things are where it's at.
Yeah. That's one of the things I was thinking about, you know, cause I'm in a pretty temperate climate, you know, we're right at, you know, that 40, 42 degree latitude or whatever. And it just stays nice all the time. And we have really, our winters are, if it gets below 25, that's cold Fahrenheit.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, we had some frost, you know, a few weeks ago or whatever, but that's like about it, man. It might dip below 32, you know, and maybe if it gets into like the, you know, upper 20s, we're like having to cover our shit up because we're not used to getting that kind of cold.
How many days do you get like that a year?
Well, it varies. You know, we still are susceptible to frost until, you know, April 1st through 15th, okay. You know, beyond April 15th, if you get any, we actually had a really late frost last year, man. People put a bunch of stuff and planted in their gardens. And then we had this just like freak 2 or 3 day frost that came down into the upper 20s and killed everybody's stuff, you know? So, but I was just thinking about that because, you know, we don't deal with that, but other people, you know, they have to really work on season extension. And then there's things that they just cannot grow. And so from a standpoint of preparedness, it seems to me like a lot of people that maybe live up in Alaska or British Columbia or, you know, places in Canada that get so cold. I mean, you almost have to be like more of a prepper than somebody who can raise something. Cause I mean, like livestock and shit's going to freeze to death. Right.
I mean, you know, cattle stay out year round here. They do. But it's not ideal for them. But yeah, I mean, you want to have a freezer, you know, we've got 3 freezers behind us and one of them's full of beef, you know, that is, and I know that can be tough for some people, but yeah, you really do, because especially with the cold, like it's not impossible. I don't want to ever say it's impossible, but it's like when, you know, I think Jack Spirko talks about trying to grow a citrus tree in North Dakota. Can it be done? Sure. Is it worth the investment of energy, time, and stress? I don't know. Probably not. And that's where it comes down to, you know, having connections, meeting people here. So like the Hutterites, they're, you know, kind of like a cross between Mennonites and Amish. And they're like a collective that grow tons of veggies. Like they're some of the biggest gardens around here. And so we, you know, every couple of years, we'll buy a bunch of carrots from them, and canned carrots, and potatoes and canned potatoes. And we recently found out that they sell chickens, big ass chickens that are like the size of turkeys. And we bought 20 of them. And so now we have a freezer full of chickens as well. So that's the best way to extend your independence in, you know, being able to grow and that sort of thing through community around here. Because otherwise, you know, I'm doing snow removal all winter for a local meat shop here. And when I'm done, they will owe me roughly what it's going to cost me to buy my side of beef this year.
Wow.
So we just, you know, local hardware store, I do the same thing, and it works out. That's some of the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's absolutely the best way to do it, because you cut the middleman out. You know, you deal with that person directly, and, you know, you don't have to, you know, if you guys so choose not to, you know,
yes, exactly.
Pay certain things. You don't have to pay certain things, you know.
I went into my local hardware store the other day and I'm like, hey, I need to pay off my account for the end of the month. And he looks at me funny and I'm like, what? He goes, no, you got a great big credit on there for the snow you do this winter. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. You know, so I'm probably good for, I don't know, you know, what I spend there. I probably 4 or 5 months worth of spending at the hardware store for the snow removal. And it's just tit for tat. You know, I love doing that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's a 2x4 going for right now at Home Depot?
Well, I haven't bought any at Home Depot, but I bought some at the local farm store the other day, and the pre-cuts were just over $4. So I was, I wasn't, and that's, $4, Kanakistan bucks is like, with the exchange rate, it's probably about $3 American, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I just bought some for $3.25 this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, $3.25, and then they've got the green stuff, the stuff that's really green studs. They were just under $3. So I was thinking, man, this is getting better. Like prices are coming back down because they got kind of out of hand there for a while, man.
Oh,
yeah, right.
The thing I'm still dealing with up here, and I'm sure everybody is just these friggin' weird, like, well, I've been waiting for a door, like an entrance door for like 3 months. And it used to be 2 weeks and I could get one. And they had to, it's just these weird supply issues that you just can't get. We had front beautiful glass security entrance doors put in at the daycare, and it showed up and they couldn't get us the double pane glass for it. They had to temporarily install single pane tempered glass in it for almost 2 months until the double pane finally showed up. So that is more frustrating than anything. I found overall the prices are pretty damn close to where they were pre-pandemic, but the supply chain issues are still a pain in the nuts.
Do you think any of that's manufactured, or do you think it's like a real thing? I mean, I think it's a real thing in the sense that maybe they don't have drivers and people don't want to work and all. There's just a ton of things, I think. But how much of that do you think is
okay? So if I were to play devil's advocate on this, I would say inflation. I have my suspicions, without going too crazy, that inflation has been somewhat manufactured. Now, you can't give away all the money that was given away for a long time and not cause inflation. But I also think that some companies have taken advantage of that and have raised their prices further than maybe was necessary. Now, I'm a free market dude, and I'm not going to begrudge whoever wants, but I think there was a lot of price raising in the guise of, hey, things cost more, so let's put it up, So now I just think that it's been an absolute shit show from day one when everything, like, I think this has been a real good lesson on how interconnected our entire system is. Because when you look at like a washing machine, for instance, it might be manufactured in Mexico, but it's, sourced with domestic parts and overseas parts. And all of a sudden, washing machines or deep freezes were another one. They couldn't get them because of one single part, right? And if you take that one chink out of the armor of the supply chain, all of a sudden, oh man, I just think that I don't know. There's a lot, I don't even know where to go with it, because I think some of it, some people decided to work from home. People have taken themselves out of the workforce. So there's less people working than used to be. There's a greater demand because people didn't spend. You had huge issues with supply chain, like the huge backups in San Diego for a long time. So you just had this perfect storm that I think is going to be like the butterfly in the tornado, or the butterfly in the hurricane, flaps its wings here, and 4 years down the road, well, I can't get wheels for my office chair because 4 years ago the company that extracted the resin to make the PVC shut down for 6 months, and now they've been booked back. You know what I mean? And then so I don't think there's an easy answer, and I think it was a huge mess. And I don't know, if I had to solve the problem, I would say domestic production would be a huge start in the right direction. But that's just me.
Now, do you guys have a lot of? And I'm speaking specifically in your town.
Sure.
Do you drive down Main Street and see a lot of empty buildings?
Yes, but that's more of a reflection of small town Alberta, the cycle of boom and bust over the years because of oil. Now, if you want to go further into it, though, Edmonton and Calgary being the two largest centers, they were hit really hard pre-COVID anyway, because we were coming out of a huge downturn in the oil business. And especially Calgary, the offices there were, just full of oil offices, right? And when you need to tighten the belt, are you going to lay off the people that make the money or the office people that create work for people, right? So they shut them down. So there was that. And then you had all this, work from home. But yeah, I would say, now I go to Edmonton most of the time. And of course, this is all based on what I see, right? About a year ago, there was a shit ton of empty businesses and empty offices. But I don't see that in Edmonton anymore. Almost everything that was shut down has reopened. There's a ton of businesses opening.
That's super good to hear.
Yeah.
Our town is always, there's always some form of empty business or whatever. And, of course, in 2008, there was a big flush of all the businesses and a lot of stuff closed down. And, then we had the 2020 deal and, we're still, there's a lot of empty stores in town. So
I would say in 2014, when oil was at its highest, like close to $200 a barrel, you could not find a place to rent in this town or a place for a business, even the old rundown places that are falling down now. So, but once that collapsed, like when the price collapsed, we were down, like half the places were closed. And the downtown sector, and we're a town of 1,500. So you can picture, if you're watching The Last of Us, they'll show these small towns they walk through, and that's small town Alberta, that it was filmed here. So they look like these little one-horse towns, So businesses in small towns are having a hell of a go at it anyway. So, and we haven't had a lot, but I say all that to say there's still a hell of a lot of opportunity, because you can buy properties cheap, you can fix them up, you can sell them. For us, rentals are really good because we have a transient community here of people who come in to work for oil, and then when it slows down, it goes away. But there's always opportunity, even though sometimes it looks shitty.
You a hockey fan?
Baseball.
Baseball?
I was a hockey fan at one time. I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan. So if you ask me, sure, I grew up watching hockey. But I moved into base. I love I don't know if you can see the tattoo there. There's a Blue Jays tattoo, which you can't really see.
Toronto.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So it was not really. My dad loves it. Every time I talk to him, I get to sit and listen to him talk about hockey for an hour.
I figured you had to be a hockey fan, man, with that accent, dude. You gotta you got the Canadian accent. So I figured, man, he's got to be a hockey fan.
Bud, that hoser there, he really knocked me on my ass out on the ice. But, when we were done, we went out, we had us some beers, and it was all good, He's just a stupid hoser.
That's right. Yeah, I used to love watching hockey, man. Fucking Wayne Gretzky was the man. That dude, Edmonton Oilers, dude, that guy was a badass. I like.
And then they traded him to the Los Angeles Kings, and that absolutely. I don't think there would be hockey in LA today if it wasn't for that. I remember so as a kid, up till about 9 years old, I was an Edmonton Oilers fan because Wayne Gretzky. And the day he got traded, I don't want to say I cried, but I remember being legitimately sad.
Yeah.
And then years later, I looked at it. What's that?
He was the GOAT.
Oh,
there's been a lot of great hockey players, but that fucking dude was like butter.
Oh,
but he did some pretty amazing stuff.
You know what's cool is, barring some unforeseen incident, and I don't think we've ever talked sports on here before, but it's pretty funny. Alexander Ovechkin on the Washington Capitals is going to break Gretzky's all-time goal record in the next couple of years.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And because LeBron James broke the all-time scoring record last night in the NBA. There were 2 nights.
I saw that, man. I just caught wind of that, in my feed or whatever. And it's like, I don't fucking like that guy.
I know.
He's a dick, man. I don't like him. He's just a arrogant, dude that thinks he's so fucking great. And he's, that's not the way you win people over. You don't blow your own horn, dude. If you're great, people are going to know you're great. You don't need to fucking tell people you're great.
I mean, Jordan was the same way. Maybe even, when you tell somebody look at LeBron. So I remember ESPN televised his high school championship game, a fucking high school basketball game, right?
Yeah.
And I remember my dad saying he's going to be something special. And within 2 or 3 years in the league, Dad's like, he's going to break the all-time scoring record. I'm like, are you serious? My dad's like that. But he also predicted that Alexander A-Rod was going to break the home run record, but we didn't see all that shit coming either. So
yeah, can't win them all, man.
No, he's a pretty good predictor,
Right on.
Well, brother, I should wrap her up. I've been going about an hour 45, and I thank you for coming on. This was great.
Yeah, it's been good to chat with you, dude. I just I heard when I popped in earlier, you were talking about your event that you're going to be having up there. So that's cool. You're going to be doing your thing, huh?
Yes. Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're going to call it, I tried to call it a lot of different names, but what seemed to have stuck is the Workshop, which is hilarious. So, because it's, Toolman Tim's workshop, and it's the summer workshop that we're having. So,
right.
I'm excited. I've got a few people confirmed, and I've got a few more kind of on the fringes that I probably will be here, but just can't confirm yet. So
well, that's very exciting, man. Congrats on that. And that's cool, man. If I could ever get up that way, then, might make it happen. I'm actually headed down to Self-Reliance in March.
Oh, I'm going to be there in October. I'm going to be spend a month in Tennessee from last week in September to about the last week in October.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier. So that's pretty cool, man. You're going down to check out your property and just, spending some time.
Yeah, I got 3 events I'm going to speak at, or at least attend. I assume. Well, anyway, I shouldn't guess, but I know for sure I'm speaking at. I'm going to be at Prepper Camp. I'm sure I'll be putting something together for that, and then I'm going to Prepper Palooza, which is kind of in between that, and that's going to be kind of fun. And then, of course, I'll be at Self-Reliance Festival too. So
right on.
I'm stoked. I can't wait. I just want to get back down in the land of Waffle House and bask in the freedom that is Tennessee, and forget about Canada for a little while, or at least get in the woods and work on our property. So
nice. Well, cool, man. I got to get going too. I got dinner just coming out of the oven, so it's great talking with you. And
thank you. I'm going to do this live call-in thing again, so keep your ears open. We'll have you on again.
Yeah, for sure. And congrats again on your 250, bro.
Take care, Porterhouse.
All right, we'll see you, man. Later.
Thanks. Well, there you go, guys. You can't say that I don't try new things, and you never really know until you try. And what's cool? Anytime I try something new on this podcast, I'm always slightly nervous because I'm like, well, what happens if I'm live for 2 hours and nobody calls in? Well, guess what? Didn't have to worry about that. But I remember my very first night with my very first live stream, and I think I had one person. It was Joseph Mills for just a little bit of time. He popped in, he said hello, made me feel good. But you know what? When I started creating content, I created it for the community that wasn't even here yet. And when I started going live and doing the podcast, I started doing it when nobody was listening for the people that would come along. And now there are people that I consider some of my closest friends in the world. My community, our community. It has been one motherfucking journey, guys, and it's just getting started. So 250 in the bag. Here's on to 500. If I did my math right, 14 months from now, somewhere around, maybe it's 16, somewhere around summer of 2024, we will be having a big shindig for episode 500. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for coming by. Always love trying new things. When it works, doesn't it work? So with that, guys, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and here's to 500 more episodes.